And Bonds hits one high. Hits it deep. It is out of here. 7:56. Bonds stands alone.
Now Booker with Tucker on him. Throws it up for 8. Shot blocked by Antetokounmpo. What a block from Giannis.
17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open. Chicago with the lead.
Minute remaining. And they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown.
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
Yes. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Tap Room Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan. Stacks on Stacks, lads. Joined with my guy, Mr. Aaron Kidd. Back from Vegas, recovering. Probably took him 3 or 4 days to recover.
Yeah, man, I think I'm still recovering, to be honest with you, Jordan.
Yeah, dude, I was on Sunday, bro. Like, I knew we were gonna have internet troubles anyways, but I texted Ben and I was like, hey man, like I think we should postpone the show tonight. Probably gonna be out pretty early. It took took a whole day to recover from Saturday, man. But what a blast that was. It was great. It was a great time, man. And shout out to Wager Talk for inviting us as well. That was fucking awesome, man.
Oh yeah, the hospitality from Wager Talk is always subpar to none. I went with all of them to Turner Stone Casino in March Madness, and we had some great luck, if you will. We hit the plus 950 ticket on Fairleigh Dickerson, and it kind of went the opposite way this time, but that's how gambling goes. And still had a great time and appreciate everybody. It was nice. It was great meeting you officially, and great just seeing everybody out there. I think everybody had a good time. Besides being a little hungover this week and a little slow moving this week.
Yeah. Saturday was funny, man. It just started off downhill and kind of just, Trig was on the Lions that didn't cover, and it just felt like every bet that everybody was on was just like something.
My Diamondbacks won. That was my one bet.
The D-backs hit, and then I was on the Giants, and fucking they were winning basically all game, and then fucking Tyler Rogers serves up a fucking meatball, and they end up losing, and that shit fucking broke my heart. But anyways, it was fun, dude. It was nonetheless, man. We had a great time, and shout out to Circa.
It's like those trips either go great and you're winning everything, or those trips just go awful when you're losing everything, man. There's like no in between where you go 3-3 throughout the weekend, and you're just kind of like, whatever. It's either you're winning them all and everybody's happy, or you have a very depressed dinner. So
it's fun nonetheless, though. That's all.
That's
that matters.
right.
That's all that matters, man. It's all that you have fun and don't lose more than you can gamble. And if you have a gambling problem, go to 1-800-GAMBLER, and they will help you out. I'm throwing that out there. We are being brought to you by Fantasia Sports tonight. Make sure to go to Fantasia Sports. You can download it on your iPhone or your mobile device. Google, I guess, is the other one. Android. I don't even know. I don't know what I have an iPhone, man. That's all I use is an iPhone. So you can download it on there. Obviously, you have to be in a legal state. Unfortunately, AK and I in Virginia and Nevada are two of the states that daily fantasy is not allowed. But if you are in one of those states, go to Fantasia Sports, download the app, use promo code Taproom Sports, get some free plays, man. It's an up and coming app, just like very, very similar to Prize Picks, basically the same concept. They're based out of Portland, Oregon, and they are really getting going, man. It's a cool app, and I suggest everybody go check that out. With that being said, before we get to the show, obviously we're here for the week 0 preview and picks podcast, but we do got to talk a little bit of baseball before we get started. Some huge news broke last night when AK was sleeping that Shohei Ohtani tore his UCL for the second time. This is the first time he had TJ. Remember, I think that was 2019, and this is the second time now that he's torn his UCL. Just it's a shame, man. It's absolutely a shame because he's such a generational player, and he's heading into free agency, and this definitely affects his free agency, right? So, what's your thoughts on this, AK, on Shohei's injury and how it's kind of gonna affect him going forward? Not necessarily just through free agency, but kind of the future.
It's definitely an unfortunate situation. I hated for Shohei. He was on track to probably getting 600, $700 million, something we've never seen in baseball or any sport. Well, in the four major U.S. sports, at least.
Yeah.
There's a couple different avenues or ways this could go. The most probably odds-on favorite to go is maybe he has some interest in returning to the field. He's still one of the best hitters in baseball, right?
Yep.
I mean, there's still a major value. Bryce Harper got what, 335 million, I think it was, and that was before what the market is today. So can Shohei, or I saw it, and this is an interesting take that I saw. Someone said that he could turn into a closer or like a high leverage reliever, right?
Bro,
And
someone said that. Jordan's been saying that for 2 years.
well, there you go. Yep. So, that would be huge. John Smoltz is the guy that comes to my mind that kind of started off as a starter he did okay, but then he got hurt and then he came back and turned into one of, look what he did with those Braves teams.
Kerry
So,
Wood too, remember?
yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's a great call there. So anyways, a lot of different things, man, as far as values on contract, if he comes back and is not going to be in the 5-man rotation on pitching, obviously probably not getting 600 million, 700 million. But if he comes in and even if he says he doesn't want to be a reliever, let's just say he's done pitching, right? He's still one of the best hitters in baseball. He can hit the long ball. He can slug the hell out of the ball. He's an everyday player. And say he's got some interest in playing the field. I mean, he'll still get 450 million.
Yep, 100% agree. Someone asked me this morning, like, how does it affect his free agency, do I think? And I said, well, I think there's two ways he can go. Like, if he wants to pitch again, maybe he takes like a 2-year deal, or he signs like a 7-year deal with a 2-year opt-out, or some kind of with a 2-year opt-out, because he's not pitching next year, right? So if he's interested in continue pitching, so you sign a 2-year deal, and obviously next year you just hit, and then the year after you pitch again, and you show like I could still pitch, right? Then you're into the market again. Now obviously he's probably not going to attract the long-term deal that he once would have, but he's still going to get the AAV as a pitcher hitter that he would have gotten this year. Because I mean, projections are all over the place whether he was going to get 60 million, 70 million. I mean, some people projected he might get 80 million a year. So I think that's one option. The reliever option, I think, is probably the most realistic option. And I said this a couple of years ago, dude. After he got hurt the first time, I was like, man, like, you just can't continue like this kind of energy, dude. Like, there's a reason why Major League Baseball teams, because if like, high school kids always come up as hitters and pitchers, dude. The best players in high school are hitting and pitching, dude. You know what I mean? Like, Hunter Green was probably the best shortstop in the country out of high school, and he happened to be the best pitcher. You know what I mean? Yep. But the Reds drafted him, and they were like, yo, we're just going to use you to pitch. So if he wants to hit and pitch, I think the best option is using him as a reliever, because he doesn't have to exert the energy. He's only going to pitch 60 to 70 innings a year rather than 150 plus. So I think that takes a ton of energy off of him and saves his body. Another part of it, too, is like the human body is not built to throw pitches that they throw today. They use so much torque on their elbows throwing cutters and sinkers at 98, 99, 100 miles an hour. The human arm isn't meant for that.
No.
For anybody. Like, we're seeing more Tommy Johns, AK, than ever before. Like,
multiple guys getting multiple Tommy Johns. We used to, I mean, me and you are both old enough to remember when that was thought to be impossible.
Yep. Back in the day, it was like, oh, if you got Tommy John, bro, your career's over, dude.
18 months it used to be. Then it went to like 18 months, and now look how fast they get these guys back. And back then it was like, if you have it once, you'll never be able to have it again. Look what's going on. We've seen people have 2. I've seen a couple of people have 3.
Yeah, I've seen reports of like parents with kids in high school that like want their kid to get Tommy John before he goes to college because like it's inevitable. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep. It's like preventive maintenance almost, Jordan.
yeah, it's insane, dude.
It's like preventive maintenance on a car or your, fucking air conditioning system.
Oh, dude, it's unreal, man. Like just the trajectory of the game. But yeah, I mean, I in third option obviously is what you said, is that Shohei as a hitter is still going to command a Aaron Judge level contract. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
So
even if he was to say, look, I don't want to play the field, I'm done.
I'll just
I don't know.
DH.
I just want to basically DH. He gets a $360-400 million contract, right?
Easy.
I mean, right?
Mm-hmm. Easily, 100% agree with that. So I think we'll know more as to where his plans are as we get into the winter meetings. And if you see him take a contract and it's either 2 years or a 2-year opt out, that tells you he wants to continue to pitch. If he takes anything else, kind of know what he's gonna do. So interested in looking forward to that, man. But man, what a fucking tough blow. And bro, he's battled arm fatigue for like the last month. Like, dude, the Angels should have shut him down, bro.
The Angels as an organization should have just not become buyers at the trade market. We've talked about this, man. They should have become sellers, packed it in, and look what happened. They became buyers, and in a span of 21 hours, they get beat by the Young Reds 3 times in 21 hours.
Yeah. I saw a great comment on Twitter the other day. Someone was like, "Oh, the Angels will be okay. Like, we have Logan O'Hoppe. They said we'll be okay if we lose Shohei. We still have Logan O'Hoppe, Mickey Moniak, Mike Trout," and he's like, "Yeah, you've had all those guys plus Shohei, and you're still not okay. So what the fuck does that mean, dude?"
Yeah, if we're comparing Mickey Moniak to Shohei Ohtani, like I don't even want to have a conversation with that guy. Like I'm just leaving him on red on text,
Yeah, the Angels are just an absolute shit show, dude.
Yep.
An absolute shit show, and it blesses my heart because my aunt is a huge Angels fan, dude. So when they lose, that Angels A's rivalries rides deep in our family, man. And then the rest of our family is Dodger fans. Just us two, and then all Dodger fans. That's how it goes. All right, let's talk some college football. AK, we are here, week 0. AK's rocking the Isotopes hat. Did they win tonight?
Oh yeah, actually, that's what I was looking at my computer screen. I have like 2 monitors and a lot of things going on, and in the corner, very little screen, I have the Isotopes game on, and we just got out of the bottom of the 8th, so we're up 4-3, top of the 9th now. Hopefully, we can add an insurance run or 2 like we did last night and come off with the win. And yeah, we cashed a nice plus 170 ticket on the Albuquerque Isotopes last night. Looking to do that again. Also have the plus 1.5, like minus 105. So hoping to cash both of those again tonight. So
nice. Oklahoma City, they obviously called up Michael Bush, so he's out of their lineup as well. So sharp call there by Mr. AK here. All right, let's talk some college football. Week 0's here, AK. A lot of people are saying if you watch week 0, you're a fucking true degenerate, or you just absolutely love college unless you go to any of these schools. And I'm like, man, week 0 is like, this might be the best time to find value. Would you agree with that?
Well, first, Jordan, I would say anybody that thinks week 0 is for degenerates or just insane, anybody that's insane will fucking call me an insane degenerate, because I'm so excited the football is here.
Yes.
This has been one of the best first half of baseball seasons I've ever had, but it's been one of the worst second halves. So it was like complete regression. Transition over from baseball. I am ready for football. The fact that you just said football 3 times in the same sentence has me so excited.
And it's meaningful football.
I feel like a little boy at his first school dance.
Hell yeah. And it's meaningful football too. It's not like it's just fucking preseason. You know what I mean? It's meaningful.
And anybody that says week 0, oh, it's fucking stupid, week 0, I don't care what they call it. They could call it week 0.5 for all I care. The fact that we got college football on, let's get it.
Yep, I agree, man. I agree, and I'm obviously I'm heavily invested in week 0 because San Jose State and USC play each other, so it's always a fun one for me. But we're gonna start with Navy and Notre Dame, and this game's being played in Ireland. The game that was played in Ireland last year, Nebraska was a 14-point favorite, and Northwestern just ran all over them. Probably Northwestern's best game actually last year. It was all downhill after that for them. But this year we got Navy and Notre Dame. This game, it's gone all over the place in the last like 2 or 3 months, dude. Like it opened -21. I saw it get bet down to 18. Then it bounces back up to 20, comes back down to 19, and now it's sitting back at 20.5. And the total
it's circa. It's a lot of. It's pretty much gone to 21 across the board now. George Circa has it at 21. Superbook, DraftKings, all the big boys got, all the sharp plays got at 21.
21. All right, so it's right back to where it was. And then the total too has gone all over the place. Opens 50, gets bet down to 48, up to 51, back to 48, 49, and now it's basically sitting 49, 48.5, depending on where you shop. The total, right?
So,
AK?
and let me just say this about open and numbers. It is week 0. Okay. I'll put my excitement aside for 3 seconds and come back to reality and talk about these lines have been up, as you mentioned, 3 months, 4 months. I saw some lines get hung in like 4 months ago, right?
Yep.
And so it's not a unusual thing for guys like me and you that have been doing this for a long time to see, the huge swing in numbers. Now, if a game moves 5 points, in 6 days that the line is up from, Sunday afternoon to the game starts at noon on Saturday, that might be a problem, right? We probably don't want to get, those are the ones we always stay away from. We don't want to try to get too invested in those. But week 0, week 1 lines, those things get hammered and hammered and hammered, mostly because people are ready to bet football. So,
some of them got bet like 2 months ago.
Yeah, exactly. But now there's some buyback on the other side, right?
Because
this is nothing new for week 0 and week 1 get stuff.
Exactly.
Nothing new.
I was talking to AK earlier about the Mexico State game, matter of fact, which opened like 10, 11 at some places. Got bet towards New Mexico State, then came all the way down to Massachusetts, and now we're seeing buyback on New Mexico State. And I was telling AK, like, this reminds me so much of the New Mexico State Nevada game last year, where Nevada opened up 13-point favorites. I bet New Mexico State plus 13. I bet it in like May of 2022, right? By the time kickoff comes around, like, we saw that line bounce all the way back. So it went down to 7. Then went back to like 8.5 by kickoff, right? And then it landed. The game landed. I think they won by 9 points. Nevada won by 9. So it was like, if you absolutely bought the steam, you lost the game. If you got a good head count, you won. And if you bet Nevada the day of, you won, or the week of, I should say, you won. So that's kind of what AK is talking about in the terms of like how long these lines have been open, because you see them get hit, and then they get bought back, and then hit again, and then it's just a wild ride for 3 months if you're reading these lines, especially in NFL too. Same thing goes for NFL week 1,
And I can promise you, bearing a coaching scandal, firing, quarterback getting hurt, if UMass and New Mexico State are playing each other in week 7, the line's not going to move like that. I promise.
Yep. No,
it's because
not
it's spotlighted week 0. That's the reason.
Yep. That's the only reason why. And we're going to talk about New Mexico State and UMass in a second, but let's start with Navy and Notre Dame. So 20.5 or 21. Let's go with 21. That you said that was a consensus basically everywhere right now. And then
let's call it 21.
And then the total is 49.5, depending on where you shop. So the total was at 50 on Tuesday. The weather reports come out, and people take weather reports as like fucking the Bible. And it's supposed to rain, so everybody fucking hammers the under, dude. Gets bet to 48. Now we're seeing buyback on the over again in the last couple days. What's your thoughts on this game? And keep in mind, too, remember, college football changed the rules of the first down round, so the clock does not stop. So it continues to run until I think it's 2 minutes, right?
It's
Or
either 2
5
or 3
minutes?
minutes, Jordan.
Yeah,
I think it's 3 minutes.
okay, you're right. I think you're right. 3 minutes. So
Yeah. Yep.
I do think that it cuts down at least probably 2 to 4 first downs on average a game, possibly. So we're talking like maybe a possession and a half.
So I think that definitely, plays a part in totals, and I think that maybe favors a dog, in some of these higher, when you're looking at 21 points or getting 21 points, I guess is what we're going to call it here. I didn't have a lot of conviction about this game. I know Navy kind of stuck around and almost beat Notre Dame last year. It was kind of an embarrassing, first game for them last year. But you get Sam Hartman, who I'm a big ACC guy. I have front row ticket to UVA. Sam Hartman, he kind of put Wake Forest back on the map there. Won some games, shocked some people. Lost a couple games they probably should have won, but that's a different story. But here's the thing, Navy's triple option. I know they said they're going to try to throw the ball a little bit more this year, but they're still going to have that basis of that triple option, flex bone, whatever you want to call it, attack. And there is always value on betting the service academies throughout the year. I don't think there's a lot of value on week 0 or week 1. Well, I guess it would be week 0 with Navy this year, but week 1 with the other ones, because you've had all season to prepare for it. The reason why the triple option is so hard to prepare for is because you're trying to cram it in 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, you don't
19-year-old kids.
Yeah,
but you have all year to pay for it. And I know in the back of Notre Dame, they know what Navy did to them last year. They're going to be prepared and they're going to come out. And I think that Notre Dame offense is going to really score some points this year. And I think that Notre Dame offense is going to be a lot better than last year. But I'm not the guy to come out and lay 21 points either, right? So, I didn't have a conviction in the game. Naturally, I lean Navy, just being able to try to slow down the game, come out and, have that 6-minute, 7-minute drive and things like that. But, I wasn't in a rush to lay the 20 either, or 21, excuse me.
So I think at the same time, AK, why is Zoom telling me that I only have 9 minutes left, dude? We pay fucking $30 a month for this shit. AK, I think the one Notre Dame, while they do have Sam Hartman, I think their strength is on running the football first and foremost, right?
Yep.
And having Estime obviously is a benefit for them. So I don't think, I mean, honestly, I don't know if they're going to come out throwing the football like crazy. I do know that they have a new offensive system. They have a new offensive coordinator. Obviously, they get Sam Hartman. But I think this game's going to be played at like a slower pace, dude. Obviously, Navy wants to run the ball. We know that. But I think that Notre Dame's going to try and pound the ball too, because Navy's good against the pass. They're always pretty good against the pass because they know people are going to try to pass the ball against them. I honestly, like, I have no conviction in this game at all.
Me neither.
I haven't played any side or total. I'm kind of like you, where I think we're going to see a different Notre Dame, but I'm not 100% sure, which gives me a little bit of trepidation in the terms of backing them on a side. College is one sport where, like, I don't mind laying big lumber if there's value to it. I just don't think there's any value here because we just don't know a lot. And it's in Ireland. I do think Navy playing in Ireland benefits them maybe more than Notre Dame because, this is a service academy with dudes in the military who are used to going overseas. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe that is an edge. I don't know. Obviously, both these teams have probably been hanging out in Ireland for a couple of weeks, right?
Probably 2 weeks, yeah.
I like when everybody started hammering the under this week because of the rain. I'm like, dude, like, honestly, this might be an over game.
We always talk about things correlate, right? So if it's 21 point spread, can't you see Notre Dame winning like 42-21? I don't know.
Yeah, it could fall right on you.
Over.
It could fall right on you, dude. Yeah.
Yep.
It very well could. And like you said, obviously, this is the best quarterback Notre Dame's had in a very long time with Sam Hartman.
100% agree. Yep.
By far. So it's just I don't know with the new OC. I'm just I'm a little concerned there. Where was Parker was OC? Where was his last OC spot? West Virginia. Yeah, that was a dog shit offense, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah, this is definitely wait and see mode for me. I got no play on this game at all. Sorry if you guys tuned in thinking we're gonna give you a play on that game. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Moving on.
I know CT's on Navy. I think he got him at what, plus 21? He said when we did the Big 12 show.
Yeah, I think he got like some crazy number. Maybe got like 21 and a half. I can't remember.
I think that's a good number. 3 touchdowns is a pretty solid number. All right, let's move over to UMass and New.
Albuquerque just scored twice, 6-3. Let's go.
Nice. We are gonna have to take a break and close this Zoom and come back in. I have no idea why it's telling me that there's only 6 minutes left. But we're gonna have to redo another. We're gonna have to open up another one. So
Zoom update, and they just want to kick us off.
Yeah, I don't, dude. Like it ruined everything. I have no idea what happened.
It's all right. We can get another another breakdown in.
Yeah. So let's move over to UMass and New Mexico State. So if you guys tuned into our Conference USA preview, AK and I both big on New Mexico State this year. We both like New Mexico State. We're also down on UMass if you listen to the AAC. And not necessarily down, it's just, UMass is kind of just there. But this line opened at 10. We spoke about it earlier. Got bet down to 6.5. Now it's up to 7 at most spots. And the total's at 45 at most spots right now. So AK, what's your thoughts on this game?
So Jordan, this kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. A lot of sharp guys saw value in UMass. I saw this thing get bet on a very popular offshore skin early on. New Mexico State actually took a little bit. I think it was like 11.5. And it was kind of one of those games you just scroll through. You're like, okay, I like New Mexico State this year, but I'm not really trying to lay like 11.5 with them. The line felt, okay, that's a little weird. And then sharp guys just started fucking hammering it, man. I saw it go to 9.5. I saw it go to 8.5. It went to 8. Then I saw it dip all the way down to 6 the other day.
Ooh.
And I was like, man, why is UMass getting like hammered? Like, is Diego Pavia like out, or like did Jerry Kill like fuck his secretary and he's not going to be coaching the game? Like, why is this line moving so much, right? And so it just didn't make sense to me. So kind of opposite the conversation we talked about earlier about getting a good number, which a good number would have been UMass plus 11.5. Now I think there's value sometimes in jumping in when you're like, hold on, this is overreaction. Some sharp guys or some sharp groups went and hammered UMass because, okay, 11.5 is a pretty big number. 10 is a very key number in football. So you're getting 11.5 or 11. Now there's value on New Mexico State. So I know you've got a strong opinion on it, which I can't wait to hear about. And you kind of gave me some conviction on it. My good friend CT that you mentioned, me and him talked about this game in depth in Vegas. And at that point, it had gotten down to 7.5. And I was like, I told CT, I was like, look, this thing gets further down. Like I'm betting it. Yeah. And I got a little over. Maybe I sat back and waited a little too much, because when it got to 6, I texted our group text chat, and I'm like, yo, if this thing's gonna get to 5, like I'm gonna grab it.
Yeah.
Oh, but then I wake up the next day, it's moved back to 6.5. So I did fire this pretty good amount with our buddy CT, Chris Thurston, a good friend of ours at the show that's been on the show. And so me and him got 6.5. So I think it was 6.5 and minus 115. So, listen, I know New Mexico State went over there and beat them by 10. They were a 1-point favorite last year. Diego Pavia, man, he's putting it together. I like him. He's a good coach. He's kind of figured it out. And you kind of saw what they did in the bowl game. And I know not a lot of people say, okay, you don't put any faith in the bowl game stuff. Them winning that bowl game was huge to that program and what they're trying to do. I think they started, 0-5 last year, and then come back and win, that many games down the stretch showed an uptick in them, if you will.
0-4.
Okay.
0-4,
0-4.
but they had a tough schedule.
I promise I have notes, but
You're
just
good. You were
shooting off the top of my head.
You were close.
Because I'm watching the Albuquerque Isotopes finish it off as we speak right now. But I think this team, the program in general is on an uptick. And listen, UMass got to fly across the country. They got to go to hot ass New Mexico, right?
Mm-hmm.
Play in that. I think New Mexico State's going to run the ball some. And the fact that I got 6.5, man, that's a great number. And I knew I needed to jump in when it went from 6 to 6.5, and now I'm starting to see 7s and 7.5s pop again. So, think we'll take care of business with New Mexico State minus 6.5 on Saturday.
Yes, sir. Let's take a quick 1-minute break. We're gonna hop out of here, get back in, and then I'll give you my side on New Mexico State and why I like New Mexico State. So hang with us real quick. We'll be right back.
So I already don't like this update.
Yeah, this update's like, dude, what the fuck? What is going on? I don't know why it's doing that. It's very, very strange. We did have like some issues with Zoom before because Ben originally signed under his email, but I signed under mine. So we should be good. But here we are. All right. We are back. All right, so New Mexico State plus 40.5. I'm trying to fix something here. No. I lost your picture.
Jordan, let me know when we're live, and I'll finish talking about New Mexico State. Then you can go into it.
Oh, we're live.
Oh, sorry. Welcome back, fellas, and women.
Oh, there we go. I got you now. I got you. You're on there. We good. Hey, we good. All right, New Mexico State, baby.
Yeah, so I'll finish just my little segue to your Jordan because I can't wait to hear you break this down. Listen, I know the thinking is that UMass had a terrible year last year. They've been terrible for a while, so they're always going to be undervalued, right? Also would make sense in the move from 11.5 to where it is now. But the fact is now New Mexico State, at home, I know UMass has gotten a transfer. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name to try to boast that offense. We're still talking about one of the worst offenses in the country last year. 12 points per game scored last year. New Mexico State comes in. I mean, I can easily see New Mexico State scoring points, winning this game like 35 to 14, right? So I think New Mexico State makes a statement. Jerry Kill gets off on the right foot, picks up right where they left off last year, and Diego Pavia gets geared up for another good year.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing about New Mexico State that I think people often forget is last year everybody thought they were going to be absolutely fucking dog shit. And they made a bowl game. And not only did they make a bowl game, on their way to making a bowl game, they beat some decent teams, but the teams they lost to were like really good programs, except for Nevada. But that was the first week of the season. They lost to Minnesota, UTEP, Wisconsin, FIU, and Missouri. All Power 5 conferences, right? Power 5 teams.
Yep.
Except for UTEP group of 5. But dude, this team, Jerry Kill, we talked about it during the preview. Like, he got this team up, and like you, I think that the bowl game was a huge predecessor or precursor to the season. I think that jump started them to this year because that made them believe. That made them believe that they are a good team. And I think Diego Pavia took a huge step forward last year. Like, if you watch the first game of the season, he looked like shit, bro. He could not throw the ball. He was just trash.
Yep.
And he only got better as the season went on. He progressively got better. And that's what you want to see in teams, right? The defense was good throughout the year. They're a formidable defense, and that's what Jerry Kill is going to bring. He's going to bring a solid defensive team, right? So I have no concerns about the defense. I just don't think that UMass can score with New Mexico State, and New Mexico State has a better defense. So in my opinion, I think you're giving me a touchdown, bro. New Mexico State is a touchdown better team, in my opinion, all day than UMass, dude. Like, UMass was one of the worst offensive teams last year.
Yeah, they averaged like 12 points a game last year. And the thing that I really saw in watching a lot of New Mexico State last year was the fact of he finally started letting Pavia, the first like games when you're talking about like that Nevada game, they wanted him to kind of drop back. They're running like a pro style offense. If you go look when they started winning all those games, Pavia's like rushed for like 100 yards every day, 80 yards, 70 yards, and he's just using his athleticism to his advantage. So they stopped forcing him just to throw the ball, which he did throw the ball well there. He got better, as you said, but he started just letting him be an athlete, right?
Yep, 100%.
And I think that will carry on to this year.
Last year, UMass, you look at their offensive statistics, 111th in Havoc. Havoc, for those that don't know, is a play of 15 yards or more. Explosiveness, 114th in the league. I mean, their PPA and rushing, .03, 119th in the league in Division I football. I mean, just not a good team, dude. Just not a good team at all. And UMass was decent defensively last year for sure. But, I mean, they also gave up a ton of fucking points to better schools. And I don't know, man. I just think this New Mexico State team is rejuvenated and rebuilt, dude. And I just think this is a new season. And as you alluded to earlier, that bowl game is just going to propel them to this season. And I like New Mexico State here. We both talked about them. They could be a dark horse in Conference USA, which is a dog shit conference. And while they are making a jump up from... they were independent last year. While they're making a jump up from independent, this is a huge game for them, man. And they returned 9 starters on offense. I love Jerry Kill, man. I think he's a hell of a fucking head coach, and I like what New Mexico State's building out there. And they're not dealing with the same shit the basketball team is dealing with, which is very beneficial.
Yes, it is.
Oh shoot! I can't wait till we talk college basketball.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Cannot wait. All right, let's talk about the next game. San Jose State and USC. So this is another interesting game. We kind of talked about this on Saturday. USC at the time was laying 30, moved up to 31. Now it's back down to 30.5. The total is absolutely got slammed, 63.5 all the way up to 66.5 in the last 4 days. Do you want me to start with this game?
Yeah, I'd love for you to start with this one, Jordan.
All right, so
this is right in your backyard.
Yeah. So Obviously, went to San Jose State, and USC's my team. My family went there, so San Jose State's never been good at football in my lifetime. They've had like 2 good teams, so it's hard to root for. But they have rejuvenated the program. They built a huge new sports complex out there. They rebuilt the stadium, so this is the first year they're reopening the stadium out there. With the whole west side is actually built with seats. Before they only had seats on one side of the stadium, so it's going to be an interesting season. However, San Jose State's always made their bread and butter, at least under Brennan, made their bread and butter on defense, right? And they lose a lot on their defense, including their best player, who was a 4-team All-American in Fehoko, which is a huge loss, man. So replacing that kind of talent on this kind of team that fast is very difficult to do. With that being said, they do return a ton on their offense. They return Chevon Cordero, who's a consensus first-team Mountain West first-team preseason Mountain West quarterback. However, if you watch Chevon Cordero, the dude fucking sucks, man. Like, he's not a good quarterback, bro. Like, he's decent at best. He doesn't make plays in the pocket. He scrambles around. He runs a lot. He's athletic. I'll give him that. But I'm not in love with the guy. All right. And they got to face a USC team who is not only coming back with one of the best offenses in the country, they beefed up that defense, dude. And that is my concern. Like, I don't know if San Jose State's going to score enough points to cover this spread. But I have this trepidation, AK, because I'm like, all right, maybe USC's up like 49-10, and they take Caleb Williams out at the end of the game. You know what I mean? Like, why? What's the point of playing him? And, people like Irv, he is this consensus, like, oh, he's going to go out there and, like, smash the pedal to the metal. But it's like, I'm looking at it like, dude, this is a marathon, not a rate, not a sprint. Like, why put your star players in position to maybe get hurt in a game that means, well, it means something. But if you're winning by 29, 30 points, why put them in risk of getting hurt? We've already talked about the back half of their schedule. You got to be ready for that back half of the schedule this year, right? So what you do on August, 26th, 27th, that doesn't matter for those last 5 games of the year, which are going to be a fucking gauntlet for USC. So I do have this. I honestly think that they may pull the plug on this in the third quarter, and it may allow San Jose State to get a backdoor.
I would agree, Jordan. I guess the reason why guys like Irv, our good friend Irv, would think that is because of what happened in the bowl game. The way USC went out, right? And so they want to come out.
What does beating up on San Jose State do?
Hey, if anything, I lean San Jose State here. I like Cordero. Say what you want to about him, but he can put it together. I won some money on San Jose State last year, like playing San Jose State in the right situations.
Oh, yeah.
Robertson, the back, he's back this year. He's a senior. Cordero's a senior. They've got some experience on the offensive side of the ball, which leads me to believe that they can score some points, man. And you see the total going up. I think the total going up is reflective of San Jose State scoring points, right? So if the total's gone up to 66, which I'm seeing it now, I saw 66 and a half.
Yeah.
USC's not going to score all those points by themselves. I mean, doesn't this just feel like it's one of those right? But it just feels like it's one of those fluky, like, 52-24 games, right? Or something like that. It just feels like that.
Yeah.
It really does. As I'm saying this, the reason why I stopped talking for a second is I'm almost talking myself into it. I feel like that San Jose State will come out and will want to get up for their, big brother, if you will.
Yeah,
and,
it's a
at
huge
least try to
game for
compete.
them. Oh yeah, they're gonna want to compete for sure. This is a huge game for them. I mean, you got to think, like, this is a California. It's obviously not a rival, but a lot of these guys that play for San Jose State got ducked by USC, and a lot of these guys that play for San Jose State probably want to play for USC, right?
And I mean, I compare it to this. I know Auburn was terrible last year, but we're still talking about Auburn, right? San Jose State almost beat Auburn last year.
Yeah, your boy, that was his best bet for that week right there.
Good for you. I mean, we're talking about a team that's been there. They played some FCC school. Probably should have beat them last year. And looking back at this, traveling across the country to Auburn, I mean, hey, I think there is plenty of opportunity for San Jose State to cover the spread.
Yeah, there's also plenty of opportunity for USC to cover the spread too, which gives me a lot of concern. Because, I mean, dude, the USC's defense is going to be improved. And I think that's the number one thing they want to show this week, right? Because that's why they lost that Tulane game, was because they couldn't stop anything. So I think a big part of what they're going to do this weekend, if they want to show anybody anything, is the fact they go out there and they fucking put up, they hold San Jose State to like 10 points. You know what I mean? There's a very good possibility they put up 60 themselves, which puts you at a very tough predicament. Because, I mean, the problem, my issue with USC in backing and taking the under, not taking or taking a side, is that the fact that USC had the most explosive plays in the country last year. They led the country in explosive plays. They could score on like that.
Oh, literally a drop of a hat.
2 plays, they can score. Like, that's what doesn't. My only thing in why I would take San Jose State, or I don't want nothing to do with the total, to be honest. The only thing I would take San Jose State is the fact that maybe they get up and they pull Caleb. Maybe they pull Caleb for the entire second half because they're up 42-0. You know what I mean?
Hey, Jordan, speaking of our friends over Wager Talk, shout out to Wager Talk's live odds page, something I use every day. Literally, as we're talking about this game, DraftKings just moved the total to 67.
We got money coming in on the over.
Money is flowing in on the over.
And USC might hit that over by themselves. That's a thing. That's the thing. Dude, this game just puzzles me, bro. I mean, it doesn't puzzle me. It's just a lot of I don't know what's gonna happen. Because, dude, there is a great possibility that USC's up and they don't play Caleb this whole entire second half.
Sure.
If he has 4 touchdowns going, or 5 touchdowns going into halftime, and they're up 49-0, you think that Lincoln Riley's like, oh yeah, we're gonna throw you back out there 49-0?
And see, I don't feel like it's a 49-0 game. Like, it just feels like, to me, it's one of those fluky, like 52-24 games or something like that. I don't know why.
The only way San Jose State covers this game is backdoor.
Yep. And that's where I'm saying, it could be,
maybe we take USC first half.
We could be 49-10, 49-17, and we get a legacy drive or 2 by Cordero against USC's, 9th stringers. So I'm definitely not in a rush to lay with USC, though. Laying 31, whether it's college football or, doesn't matter to me. Laying 31's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points, dude. That is a lot. Like I said, I'm more willing to lay big numbers in college than I am in any other sport, but that's a lot of points. That is a lot. All right, let's move over to the UTEP and Jacksonville State game. So this game right now we're seeing more money on UTEP. So this moved to a pick'em. Now we're at UTEP -1.5. Opened at +2 UTEP. And the total is at 54. AK, you and I both have made plays on this game. We both like this game, just like the New Mexico State game. Why do you like our minors? Our minors.
So before I get to that, as you mentioned, money's flowing in. So 82% of the money is, which take these for what it's worth, but it's on the Wager Talk live odds screen. It's a great tool that I use every day. 82% of the money is on UTEP. 54% of the tickets on UTEP. So tickets are about split, but some sharp money came in on UTEP and moved them. And I think there could be a lot of reasons. I think Jacksonville State was probably, everybody thinks they're going to play up, and, it's their first game in FBS, this, that, and the other. I think that kind of hurts them, right?
Yep.
Just being amped up, feels like a game where they come out and make a lot of mistakes, because of their being amped up.
Bro, AK, real quick, before you move on, they played one FBS team last year.
Yep.
Did they win or lose that game?
They lost it.
Yeah, who do you remember who they played?
I remember us talking about it, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Tulsa. 54 to
That's right.
17, dog.
That's
54
right.
to
And they got
17.
blasted by Tulsa. That's right. Yes, yes, yes. And so here's the thing. For Rich Rod, for what he is, I like Rich Rod as a
Yep.
person. Okay. But as far as UTEP, they returned most of their offensive line. Gavin Hardison, he's healthy. I'm looking for him to take that step that, we were waiting on last year. They got one of the best running backs in the conference. I think he's going to run over top of basically
Maybe
an
in the
FCS
country
defense,
too.
yeah, in the country, right? And yes, I know they lost a little bit of their, on the defensive side of the ball, but hey, um, I think I think that actually helps them. I mean, as far as I don't think that hurts them. I think them being able to run the ball, come out here, control the line of scrimmage against essentially an FCS team, I think leans UTEP's way. I think Hardison takes the next step this year. And me and you talked about it. They got a chance to really surprise some people this year.
Yep, I'm very high on UTEP, and they did lose some in the front seven, but they also returned two second team All Conference USA players on their defensive line, which people are forgetting, and they also returned Tyrese Knight, who was second team All Conference USA as a linebacker. So, like, while they did lose some, they do get three of their best players back. You know what I mean? So that's hella beneficial. And then, as you say, Gavin Hardison, we're looking for him to make a big leap. And then Deion Hankins, he was second team All Conference USA. He only lost to Tyjae Spears, who was like one of the best running backs in the country last year. So it's like that tells you where he's at, right? And I just, Jacksonville State didn't show a ton against Tulane last year. They didn't add enough to, like, really, in my opinion, make themselves competitors in FBS in their first season. There's a reason why they're projected to finish last in Conference USA their first year in FBS, which is normal. Like, this is, I think a lot of people are looking at Jacksonville State and kind of hoping for something like James Madison last year, where James Madison came up from FCS and they did really well, and then they kind of faltered at the end, right? Rich Rod's a great coach, dude. Great coach. But this is FBS, baby. This is a new level. I'm high on UTEP. Remember, during our show, I took UTEP plus 2,500 to win this conference. It's gone down to plus 1,500, AK. So not only am I high on UTEP, more people, the market's high on UTEP. I think we're getting, this is a pick'em game, 1.5. I'm getting under a field goal. Bro, give me UTEP, bro. What are we doing here? Dana Dimel getting this program together. I love this UTEP team, bro. You already know that. But now everybody else is gonna know. And we're cashing this UTEP ticket, bro. I
can't wait.
I love UTEP. And I need to get me a UTEP shirt or a jersey or something, or because, bro, we're gonna be riding UTEP so many times this year. I already fucking know. I'm so stoked for Saturday, bro.
I might get myself a pickaxe and come on the show if we win next week.
Dude, I love it. Let's do it, bro. Oh my god. Also, quick thought on Hawaii and Vanderbilt. I know we were going to discuss this, but AK and I were talking about this before. I do lean Hawaii here, fighting Timmy Chang's against Vanderbilt. I think Vanderbilt's going to have a down year. I think it's going to be a rough year for them. They also have half their stadium missing, which is pretty unfortunate. They're going to be watching this game with, like, tractors and cats in the background, dude. So I
think the thing. I mean, losing their quarterback they had a good year last year. Came up, had a couple upsets. They had a really good quarterback, but he's in Mississippi State now. He's moved on. I lean Hawaii too. I've come out and played Hawaii in that game. I want to say it was 2 years ago against UCLA, and they were getting about the same amount of points, 18 and a half, 19 and a half, and they just come out and just get destroyed. So I just feel like I have a bad taste in my mouth from that, and I need to let that go.
Well, that's the first thing. You should have never backed Hawaii when they had, what's his name? The douchebag is coach. What's his name? The dude from Arizona State that was their coach?
Yeah.
Oh my god, what the fuck's his name, AK? It's gonna kill me. The dude with the military fucking haircut.
Todd Graham.
Todd Graham, dude. That he's not Hawaii. You know who is
No.
Hawaii? Timmy Chang, baby. I'm telling you, bro. Like Timmy Chang is gonna. This is his team, bro. Like he's building this team. This is his first year. Really, you know, he got his some recruits last year. He's got recruits this year. Quarterback play definitely stepped up. Remember, they almost beat San Diego State at San Diego State last year.
They had San Diego State on the ropes. Now that San Diego State had a backup quarterback at the time too.
No. They had a backup quarterback who ended up being their starting quarterback the rest of the year.
Well, that's right.
And their starting quarterback, who he took the place for, ended up transferring out because they kept going with Maiden.
That's right.
I'm the Mountain West guru.
Here's another game. Now, this one has pretty much stayed. Actually, really one of the only games that's stayed about where it opened at. It opened 17 and a half, and it's kind of where it stayed at now.
72% of the tickets are on Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
I think, I'm a little biased, dude. So don't, you need to understand that. I grew up, like, I idolized Timmy Chang, dude. Like, Timmy Chang was, like, one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time. So and Irv can attest to this, when Timmy Chang got hired at Hawaii, I was like, Hawaii's back, dude. Like, he's going to bring this program back. And I do think that he's getting there. And I think that game against San Diego State was huge. I also think, they had UNLV in Hawaii. UNLV had a chance to make a bowl game if they won that game, right? Which is huge. I mean, the fact that UNLV lost that game is the whole reason why what's his name got fired, Mario, the coach. That was the reason why he got fired. It's because they lost that game against Hawaii, and Hawaii dominated that game. It's a good UNLV team, by the way. Doug Brumfield, good UNLV team. Hawaii absolutely dominated that game. See, I'm up when these games happen. AK's asleep.
Oh no, I stay up and watch a lot of these games. That's how I knew about. That's how I really watched a lot of San Jose State and Jake Hayner last year at Fresno State. I stayed up last year watching a lot of him. On the West Coast. I usually make it if I don't have action.
He said
I'll
usually
make it till halftime.
He said I'll usually make it. Yeah, do you make it through all the Hawaii games in Hawaii though?
Oh, I if I have action on it, I'm usually I'm at least in and out of sleep. I promise. So
right.
I'm at least grinding it. Now, if I don't have action, who knows? But might actually go hang out with my wife for once on a Saturday evening. But
we need to do some live late night live streams this year.
Man, listen, I grew up on the East Coast. I've lived here my whole life, but I can remember, you were talking about Timmy Chang. I can remember staying up watching some Timmy Chang games. And then later on, Colt Brennan. Rest in peace, Colt Brennan. Think about what he did. He was he took Hawaii to the first
Tommy's legend too.
Yeah, they went undefeated that year. I think they played Georgia in the
they
bowl
got
game
fucking
that year,
absolutely waxed, dude.
But he took them to a New Year's Six bowl, and that was the first time like a group of five program went to a New Year's. Yep. So anyways, I used to stay and watch all them, but talking about NBA, when I was growing up, the Kings were like the most exciting team to watch. So I would stay up and, beg my mom to let me stay up and watch the Kings team. Actually, they probably should have won a championship if that wasn't for
Hold on. I'm not a Lakers fan, but dude, they had a whole nother game to win and they lost that game.
Yeah, but getting 31 fouls called on you in a game is pretty ridiculous.
I won't deny that, but they still had a whole other game they could have won.
I'm pretty sure the discrepancy was like 31 to 12 fouls or something like that. But anyways, doesn't matter. My point is I used to love watching those teams, Mike Bibby, Chris Webber, Peja Stojakovic, all those teams, man, they were fun to watch. So I've always been down for staying up and watching West Coast stuff, and especially in today's world because I have so much action on late night stuff. I'm definitely, grinding teams like Washington State, UCLA. I think that's why I have this affection for Dorian Thompson-Robinson, right? Like I know you West Coast guys hate that, but I love that kid, man. I think he's a stud. I really do.
You're talking to USC guys and Dorian Thompson-Robinson. That's why I asked you, has he ever showed up in a big game? And the answer is no. So
I can tell you what, he showed up in preseason game number 1 for me and cashed my ticket.
I love
That was a
it.
big enough one for me.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Nah, man, I'm excited for this football season. But no, we should. I would love to do a live stream of some late
Hell yeah,
night
let's do it.
Mountain West Pac-12 action because I think that'll be interesting. I think people would get a kick out of that, especially if we both have action on it. That'll be
Oh yeah, I'll have action on. I'll make sure of it.
yeah, that'll be fun, man. That'll be fun, man. I'm really looking forward to this college football season. AK and I we linked up over college basketball, and we actually talking to him throughout when we linked up and talking to him actually like made me think of college basketball a little different. And college basketball is always been my best sport betting wise, and college football is like my third best sport technically based on money, but I don't know how I beat the NFL more than I beat college football, but it's just weird. In NFL I just take contrarian plays and they always end up winning, dude.
Yep. It's because NFL it's so much public influx on there that you can almost like here's the thing about baseball, and this is what really got me in the second half of baseball this year is the first half of baseball season this year, man, you could almost read lines. You know what I mean? If you could think like a bookmaker, and I know it's us against the books, but if you just sit back and think like a bookmaker, you can pretty much read shaded lines.
Yep.
And in baseball, shaded lines. But here's the thing about the second half of baseball, I just feel like lines have gotten sharper, like after the All-Star break. For instance, today the Toronto Blue Jays, man, I thought that was the Blue Jays spot. Now, what I failed to think about was it was probably a getaway game for them because they're going back to Toronto tomorrow.
Whoa.
However, they're fucking fighting for a playoff spot, right? So the getaway thing, I think in my I guess dumb mind would think, oh, there is no getaway game, so they need every win they can get because they're fighting for a wild card spot right now.
What you failed to realize is that the Orioles don't know any better, and that they just win, dude.
And so that'll get me to another point on another show about why I'm not high on the Orioles and why I don't think they're going to make any noise in the playoffs.
Oh, stop it, dude. Stop it right now.
Because I don't think the team that doesn't know any better, that just goes out there and plays baseball freely to a degree, and you basically just echoed the sentiment of every Orioles player, oh, we're just playing baseball. We're just winning baseball. We're just winning. That usually doesn't equate to long-term success. But, hey, it's working right now. But like I said, the Blue Jays, you could see it tonight, man. When I knew the Blue Jays were going to lose after the top of the first inning because three up, 3 down, 5 pitches. They're just swinging at everything. Don't care. Oh, we just getting the hell out of Baltimore. And I said, oh, well, this is a loss.
First of all.
And then you saw Kyle Gibson throws like 90-some pitches through 8 innings and looks like he's fucking the second coming of Sandy Koufax.
Well, that's the thing with Kyle Gibson, dude. Is like sometimes he does look like that. But then other games he'd be up there throwing meatballs and shit. AK, dude, bro. The Orioles are a fucking great team, dude. Like they have the best young talent in baseball, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, but that could be said about the Reds too. I mean,
yeah, but the difference is like the Orioles have like more experience than the Reds. Like
and
their young guys do, and like they have better pitching than the Reds. Like the Orioles have Kyle Bradish. Like that dude might win the Cy Young. I'm sitting here right now on August 24th, and
I could make epic cash.
I can make a legitimate case that he can win, dude.
I would have to tope you with my isotopes hat because that would be an epic cash.
If he wins, I'm flying out to Virginia, and we're partying for a night, dude.
Yeah, we'll drive to Baltimore and we'll just party at Pickles. And you got to have a Kyle Bradish jersey on.
Oh my dude, I'll buy like a Kyle Bradish jersey in every color, dude. White, black, orange, gray. I'll have one in every color, dude. That hits.
That is awesome.
But like that's the thing with the Orioles is like everybody's been saying like, oh, they don't have the starting pitching, but like they actually do. Like Kyle Bradish is good. Grayson Rodriguez has been good. Everybody wants to give Dean Kramer shit, like my boy Trevor. Hey, Y'all need to stop talking shit on my boy Dean Kramer. He is a very good fighting Jew pitcher. Shout out to my Jews, man. Like me. Love it.
Yep. I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't understand how they just keep winning games. Like
How do you not understand? They got the best bullpen in baseball. They got a hella good offense. They got the rookie of the year in
Jordan, you should know me better than that by now. I'm pretty stubborn when I get something in my head, so that's a fault of my own.
what you need to be saying is that the Rangers are not going to be winning in the playoffs, bro. They're 7-game losing streak.
We've been saying that. We've been saying that since before the All-Star break. This is just coming to fruition. What me and you have been saying for 3.5 months.
Yeah, but the Orioles are not. They've been like
Actually,
plateaued like all year.
Seattle Mariners are going to cash a ticket for me to win the American League West.
They probably are.
Watch it happen.
They very well may. I think as of tonight, they're a half game back.
Yep, Houston getting blown out by Boston. You losing to Boston back-to-back nights was huge for that too, by the way.
Huge.
And I don't even think Houston's that good. I really don't.
They just don't. They don't have the starting pitching, dude. Because outside
they don't
of
have relief pitching.
I mean, they have a good back end, but they don't have a middle relief.
Nope.
And honestly, their back end of their bullpen isn't great either. And they went out and got.
I'm telling you, I don't care what the metrics say. The Astros bullpen is not great.
The metrics don't favor them in any. Ryan Presley definitely hasn't been as good as he was last year. That's for damn sure. And then obviously Montero, I don't even think he's up with the club anymore.
He's not.
He was lights out last year. Remember that shit? Last year he had a 1.8 ERA, dude. Just unbelievable shit. Just such a mid. Yeah, I'm with you, dude. I lean the Astros to win the division only because they have the experience, dude. And they still have Jordan, they still have Jose Altuve, and at some point that Mariners offense is gonna regress some, dude. There's no way they continue doing what they're doing right now.
Oh, I agree with that, but also I would argue that I think we're finally seeing the positive regression. If you remember in our baseball preview shows, we were talking about base. I'd said the Mariners are going to be a top 5 or 6 offense this year. I thought it was just going to happen. Even with Raleigh and all of them. And so I just think you're finally seeing what the Mariners were supposed to be. The Mariners left off disappointing fashion what happened in the playoffs actually against the Astros.
Yep.
Team we're also talking about. They kind of underachieved there, if you will, a little letdown there, if you will. If you remember the Mariners, I think the last game they were up 6-0 and they get walked off 7-6, and that kind of ended their playoff run there. But I just feel like they got something to prove now, and Julio has finally found his bat again. That is the driving factor in this.
Yep, 100%. My biggest question mark about the Mariners is that do they have enough pitching, because all their pitchers are rookies, like Brian Wu and Bryce Miller. Obviously,
I think Logan Gilbert pitching the way he is, George Kirby. I mean,
Kirby's nice, but Luis Castillo's mid, dude.
But I think he can win a game in the playoffs for you.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely have the pitching, dude.
I think so.
But their bullpen's also regressed too. Their bullpen's also.
It has. Losing Seawald hurt. It did.
I mean, maybe he hasn't looked great with Arizona. I mean, he's looked better lately.
He's found his groove.
He's better lately. Groove. But at first, dude, I was like, oh, this is why they traded him.
Yeah, but no, he's found his groove. And hey, shout out to the Arizona Diamondbacks, man. We're only 10. I haven't looked at the score what tonight's game is, but pinning that outcome, we're either 9 or 10 games away from cashing the ticket.
They have bases loaded, 0 outs right now in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, there you go.
And I have the under. So hopefully this doesn't go over 9. Pray for my total.
Oh, it's 0-0. Oh, you'll get there, man.
I mean, they have 0 outs, dude.
Yeah, it won't go over.
I've seen crazier shit happen.
Me too.
I had over 10 in the A's and White Sox today, AK, and the game was 1-1 in the 4th inning and ended up going over.
Yeah. Who won that game, by the way? Was it the A's or White Sox?
The Oakland Athletics.
A's did pull it off. Good for them.
Dude, I'm telling you, the teams now you want to look to back are the young teams that don't know any better. Right? The teams that have guys fighting for positions next year. The A's of the world, the Tigers of the world, the Royals of the world. Those are the teams.
Look at what the Nationals have been doing.
The Nationals of the world. And shout out to Stone Garrett, dude. Hopefully he gets back healthy next year, man. He was having a hell of a year. But those are the teams you want to back right now because those are the teams that you know, they're fighting for something, dude. You know, they're fighting for playoff. They're fighting for positions for next year. But anyways, we gotta get you out of here, AK. You're on the East Coast, dude. We gotta get you the fuck out of here.
That's right.
you don't even know. It's like 11:46 out there, and he's like, whatever. I don't even know. All right, so AK, best bets.
Getting prepped to stay up for the West Coast game.
There we go. So best bets for this weekend. Are we both on? We both like the same two sides.
Yeah, so I'll let you get us home there, Jordan. I will say though, my best bet is New Mexico State -6.5. Talked about it. I think Diego Pavia has something to prove. Jerry Kill has something to prove, and I think UMass is the unfortunate less of the benefactor there. I think some sharp guys took 11, took 10, just seeing value there on the key number of 10. But I think New Mexico State comes out and punches them in the mouth. I see them winning by 2 touchdowns or more.
Oh my God, the Diamondbacks are idiots, dude. Oh my God, the Diamondbacks are so dumb, dog. They could have had a bases clearing double, but bro fucking thought it was gonna get caught, so he stopped. And so every runner got caught up. And so they only scored 1 run on what should have been a bases clearing double. Unbelievable. All right. I'm with you. UTEP -1. New Mexico State -6.5. I'll also throw Hawaii plus 17.5 out there. I haven't played it yet, but I probably will play it. I have played UTEP -1. I have played New Mexico State -6.5. Those are bets that are in pocket right now. Love it. I love both those bets. We're getting there. We're getting those home, AK.
Let's do it.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Make sure to go to Fantasia Sports and we got locked out of here again. Anyways, make sure to go to Fantasia Sports. Taproom Sports. Use it as a promo code. Get hooked up. We appreciate y'all. We'll be back on Sunday. We'll be breaking down the week that was in sports. Myself and Irv and Ben. You don't want to miss it. We appreciate y'all very much for hanging out with us. Thank you again. See y'all later. We out.